Alright, man. It's your boy Martian again, back at it with the trends, man. Just tapping in, making sure I'm in it to win. So, today, man, I'm just looking at the market today. It was a few basic things, I want to always go over, just things that I keep with me whenever I trade, or like some of the things I think about every day, just before going into a trade or when I trade. One of the top words is discipline. Like discipline is like one of the main things that you need to be successful at anything, especially something like trading. Like just making sure you staying disciplined and staying with that flow of money and that flow and that frequency of money, and just winning, making sure you staying in that frequency, and you got to be disciplined and taking care of all other areas of your life and what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? So, and confirmations. The confirmations is what I talked about with my indicators. So I use confirmations before I enter any trade. So a lot of the confirmations that I like to use is if I see any divergence, and my support and resistance that I use. So those are some of the main things that I use for confirmation. It's a few other indicators as well that I like to use. I use this one indicator called the Bollinger Bands, and I'm gonna pull it up right here. Let me go to Lyft. So I use the Bollinger Bands when I'm day trading, and the Bollinger Bands, this blue line right here is what you would call the 20 moving average. So this 20 moving average is useful on smaller time frames. I previously stated in my last video, I talked about the 200 MA. Let me show y'all about the moving averages. 200. I go to Trading View. Trading View is where I use for most of my technical analysis. I use Trading View, and I'll use Webull as well because that's where I'm placing selling my orders. I usually put the VWAP, which means volume weighted average price, and the Bollinger Bands on my Webull. So those are the two main indicators I'm using on Webull, and then I got the divergence indicator on my Webull too. So let me go. And when I'm saying Webull, I'm referring to my mobile version. I'm trying to show y'all the Webull, what it looks like, and I'm on a desktop. It look a little bit different. So, but mainly I use it on mobile. I'm gonna learn how to stream mobile soon, so y'all can see. So boom. This one actually has a 20 to 50 and a 200 MA, right? And this is useful. So let me just take all the additional stuff off. Okay. So this green line is the 200 MA. And as you can see, this green line, it shows the overall direction of whatever the stock or ETF exchange traded fund. That's what ETF means. Whatever you trading, it shows the overall direction of what it's going in. So this 200 MA it's better on a larger time frames. But every time that the candlesticks are under it, it's usually on a downtrend. You know what I'm saying? And then whenever the candlesticks get over, so it broke this 200 MA a few times before it actually broke it and held it. But a great sign was how it consolidated and then it stayed over. After it broke it 2 times, it consolidated, stayed over. So this would have been in this area, anywhere in this level would have been a good place to buy in at. You know what I'm saying? So Lyft right now is in a great place to buy in at. As you can see, you know, it ran a lot, so right now it's kind of marinating in its levels. I could put some support and resistance lines on here as well. Go to this Fibonacci retracement. Boom. Swing high. Remember when I use my Fibonacci retracement, I use my most recent swing high and my most recent swing low. So I'm gonna slide this bad boy over right here. As you can see, as I mentioned before, this level right over that 200 MA that you can see, it's in a golden zone. Like, this is the golden zone of the Fibonacci. This is like the perfect place to buy in on when you're looking bullish. You know what I'm saying? And remember, when you're looking at it bearish, you basically just flip it over. Give me a second. Okay. Flip it over. Boom. Boom. So look, if I wouldn't be bearish on it right now, just off the simple fact it's been on an uptrend. But you know, like when you day trade, we catching both trends on the downside and on the upside. So I'm always trying to catch those puts on the uptrend, always trying to catch that pullback, always trying to catch the reversal. So right now, it's holding above this level in the gold zone right here. You know, it still can make more highs. So this isn't the best time to use this in this way, this Fibonacci retracement in this way. So, but I'm just looking at it. If it does fall into this zone, if it's just super volatile movement, could come down here, come back down to lowest about like, what's that, 14.52 in the gold zone. So, you know, it's just something to look at if it does fall under this support at 15.69 up here. This is support right here. So as long as this falls over this support, 15.69, you know, it could still trickle back down. So, you know, all these movements are a lot on these contracts. We're going to take a look at Lyft contracts specifically. But yeah, man. So definitely, those are definitely two confirmations, bullish confirmations on Lyft. Let me take this off. So boom. So this is the 200 MA. This is why it's super important. It just shows the overall trend to where it's going. If it's under it, you know, usually on the downtrend. If it's over it, it's usually on the uptrend. You can see right here it's over. So I'm been on the uptrend. So definitely super bullish right now on them. They're probably going to trace back down to previous levels on that support. So yeah, man. So boom, Webull, back to Webull. So I just wanted to explain what a moving average was. That's on a wider time frame, but a 20 MA is what I would use on a smaller time frame. Let me go back. Let me go to Lyft. So I use it while I day trade. It works well on all, really, in 1 minute from the 2 minutes, 3 minutes. I like to look at the 10-minute a lot. And I like to look at the 2 minute when I'm on Webull. So yeah, man. So let me go back out to 10 minutes so I can see. It doesn't show the session. I like how it looks on the app. It shows like this when the session was open and versus closed. Because around this time is when it opened up. Was that? No, that's on Thursday. Let's go back to the most recent. Okay. Around this time is when it opened up on Friday. And it was extremely bullish. I actually spoke on this in the last video. Let me see if I can put a line right here. Well, right in this range, right here is when it opened up. So I spoke on this in the last video. I seen some crazy bullish divergence, and it ended up going crazy. So right now they under this 20 MA is good on the smaller time frames. You kind of can see the directions on shorter time, like during shorter spans of time. It kind of shows the direction it's going in, or like it works as like a support or a resistance line. So right now it's under it. So maybe you look at this as some resistance and continue to drop to previous levels. So yeah, man, I'm overall bullish on them, but opening up tomorrow, the market been red, overall red. I seen it close red. Let me go to SPY. Okay. Yeah, man, SPY closed red. Tomorrow's been actually going absolutely barnacles lately. Been going, yeah, man, it's been going crazy lately. Looking like it's about to retrace previous highs, but you know, it's a process. So I'm looking at it. It could sell off. It's like at 588 right now. Okay, so it broke. Oh, my computer's lagging out a little bit. Okay, so it actually dropped off. It sold off pretty hard. So 588. Let me go to the 1 hour. The 1 minute was trippy. So damn. So it actually sold off pretty hard. Definitely we seen some bearish divergence. Let me pull my other indicator. Let me go back to trading view. Cause I seen some bearish divergence on SPY yesterday. Actually, I mean before the market opened yesterday. Okay. Yeah. And this is on a 1 hour. So before the market closed, it made a higher high and it made a lower high on the indicator. And we go back to that, my favorite little sheet. Let me see something. I go to the divergence chart. So made a higher high and made a lower high. And then as soon as the market closed, it's not going to, trading view don't show the after hours movement. But Webull does. It's kind of weird, but as you can see, it still shows it up at about 593, but really it's at 588 right now. So it's around 588. So, you know, I would just watch to see what it do. Definitely watch to see what it do. It has some bearish divergence. Let me take this Fibonacci off. It's in a way. Sometimes you gotta clear it up. But let me show y'all where I seen the divergence at. I had it right here, here, and then boom, boom. As you can see, it's just the typical divergence right there. And then they ended up opening up pretty red. Right now they're at this level right here. They're around 588. So we'll see the movement on Monday. See what it's looking like Monday. Might open up a little bit more red, and then continue to chase back to that all-time high. So, you know, like just staying optimistic on everything. Make sure I'm catching the trends on the ways up and down. Just being careful when I'm hopping in. I'm not hopping in things blindly. Always being overly technical and finding confirmations with any indicator that I'm using before I enter a trade. So, yeah, man, I appreciate y'all for tapping in again.